Okay, so today we are going to make lasagna, and I'm just going to use the reusable pan, and it is a 10 by 12. So I have about 10 of the lasagna noodles. So the first thing I do before I start the sauce, I boil some water in a teapot, and I'm going to cover all my noodles and let them set for about 30 minutes while I make the sauce, and they'll be nice and soft. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside, let them get soft, and you don't have to boil water. If you don't have a teapot, just use the hottest water that you can get from your faucet and just set them aside. Okay, I have a half a pound of hamburger 93.7 and a pound of Italian sausage. So I'm going to cook this all up. I chopped up a half a medium onion. Okay, so I'm going to use about a teaspoon and a half of garlic. Then I have some fresh parsley that I cut up. So I'm just going to take about a fourth cup and put that in. Then I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. Sprinkle this all over, about a little more than a teaspoon. And some salt and pepper. And we'll mix this all up. Okay, and then you want to add a can of the fire roasted diced tomatoes, and I drained them, and one of the small little 6-ounce of the tomato paste. And you want to mix this all up. Okay, so if you have homemade marinara sauce, use that, or use your favorite kind that you have at the store. So I'm going to put in 2 jars. So I'm going to mix this up, and I'm going to let this simmer. Okay, while that's simmering, I'm going to start on the ricotta, and I have about 2 cups of the ricotta cheese, and I'm going to add 1/4 of the Parmesan cheese, and don't use the kind that comes in the can. Either grate it yourself or buy the kind that's already grated. So I'm going to add that and mix this up. Then I'm going to add 1 egg. And I have the cut parsley that I put in the sauce. So I'm just going to grab just a handful like this. Probably about a 1/4, maybe not quite a 1/4 cup. And I'm just going to put a little salt in, a little bit of garlic powder, like just sprinkle a little bit in, like, just like that, just a half a teaspoon. So this is all ready. Now we'll start assembling it. Okay, so you can see the sauce is all nice and thick and yummy. Okay, so now we're going to set everything aside and get my little tray. And I wanted to show you the noodles. See, just by soaking them. See, just really pliable. Real nice, just like if you boiled them. So we're going to put sauce on the bottom. Smeared around. So I'm going to take the noodles and lay them down. Five on the bottom. I'm going to put some more sauce. So now I'm going to put some of the ricotta mixture. And I have about 2 cups of the mozzarella. You could use slice, you could grate it yourself. Put lots of cheese on. Then I'm going to take some of the Parmesan cheese, sprinkle that all over. And now we're just going to repeat the same thing. Now you'll want to cook this on a cookie sheet because this will probably bubble, maybe get all over. Looks so good. So what you want to do is bake this at 350 for approximately 50 minutes. And halfway through, you want to cover it, and you want to take off the foil and let it just finish cooking so the cheese gets all nice and brown. Okay, so I made this today, but I will put it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to bake this tomorrow because we were having our oldest son fly in tomorrow, and this is going to be our dinner tomorrow night. So if you want to make this for a later date, put it in the freezer, just unthaw before you bake it, or if you bake it frozen, you're going to have to add a lot more time than 50-60 minutes to it, so it all gets done. So the trick is that when you cover it with the foil, you don't want the foil to hit this, because the cheese, foil will take all the cheese off when it's cooking. So you put these little toothpicks all down it, 4 rows of them, and then the foil won't hit the cheese. There you go. So I'm gonna cover it. I'll put mine in the refrigerator, and we'll bake it tomorrow, and I'll show you it finished. Okay, so now you can see I covered the whole thing, but yet it's not touching any of the cheese. So when I bake it and take it off, the cheese will stay where it's supposed to and not on the foil. Okay, so it's the next day. Like I said, I was gonna bake it today, and I took it out of the oven, and now it's just resting. So I'm gonna let it rest for about 20-30 minutes, and then we're gonna cut into it. I took out the toothpicks, so it's just kind of sitting here. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so this is set. So now we're going to cut into it. And it looks so good. Okay, so here it is. All nice and cut. It shows all the nice layers. This is going to be so yummy. So I want to thank you so much for coming into my kitchen. I hope that you will try this, and we'll see you next time.